The unexpected war. In the quiet reaches of space, a new chapter in history was about to unfold. The Galactic Council, a powerful body representing many alien civilizations, had convened for an important meeting. Their discussions often focused on trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and maintaining peace among the stars. However, beneath this calm surface, a storm was brewing. The Council's chambers were magnificent, filled with holographic displays showcasing star maps and interstellar trade routes. The air was thick with the hum of technology and the chatter of representatives from various worlds. Among them was Ambassador Zilfar, a tall, slender being from the planet Threxia, known for its rich resources and advanced technology. Zilfar was respected, but he was also known for his cautious nature. He sensed something unsettling in the air today. As he looked around the room, Zilfar noticed a newcomer, a human commander named Sarah Mitchell. Humans were relatively new to the Galactic Council, having recently proven their worth as allies. Commander Sarah had a reputation for her fierce determination and innovative strategies. Zilfar found himself both intrigued and wary of her presence. "Today, we gather to discuss our future," announced Chairwoman Ilara, a being with shimmering skin that changed colors with her emotions. "Our council must decide how to confront the emerging threats in our galaxy." Zilfar's heart raced. He had been receiving troubling reports from his homeworld about increased pirate activity near their borders. These pirates were becoming more daring and organized, and there were whispers of a new leader among them, a ruthless individual who sought to unite the scattered pirate factions under one banner. As the meeting progressed, Sarah listened carefully. She had heard of the growing unrest and knew that the humans needed to be prepared for anything. Her instincts told her that they had to strengthen their position within the council. "Chairwoman," Sarah spoke up, her voice steady and clear. "Earth is ready to support any measures the council deems necessary. We have advanced technology and resources that could aid in any conflict." Zilfar watched her with growing concern. The humans had always been seen as underdogs, yet here was Sarah, exuding confidence. He wondered if the council fully understood the strength of the human fleet. Suddenly, the meeting was interrupted by a flashing alert on the main display. The room fell silent as the image of a starship appeared, a ship that was unmistakably human. "This is Commander Harris of the Earth Fleet," a voice crackled through the speakers. "We have encountered an unidentified ship near the Threxian borders. It appears to be hostile." Gasps filled the chamber. Zilfar's heart sank. The pirates had struck sooner than expected. The Threxian borders were crucial for the Council's trade routes, and an attack there could threaten the stability of their alliance. "Commander Harris, you must withdraw," Chairwoman Ilara ordered, her voice filled with urgency. "This is not your battle." But it was too late. The screen flickered as the image shifted to a chaotic scene of battle. Earth's ships engaged with sleek, agile pirate vessels, each side unleashing a barrage of energy blasts. Zilfar felt a pang of dread. The pirates had become more aggressive, and the Council's lack of action had given them the confidence to strike. As the fight continued, Sarah turned to the Council members. "We cannot sit idly by while our allies are attacked. We must act now." The Council debated for a brief moment, but Zilfar's mind was racing. He realized that the time for discussions was over. They needed to unite against this common enemy. The pirates posed a threat not only to the humans but to the entire council. "Chairwoman," Zilfar said, rising to his feet, "I propose we send a fleet to support the Earth forces. Together, we can push back this aggression and protect our interests." His words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of urgency. The other council members exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of fear and determination. Finally, Chairwoman Ilara nodded, her skin shimmering a bright green, signaling her approval. "Very well, Ambassador Zilfar. We will send a joint fleet to assist our human allies. But we must act quickly. The longer we delay, the stronger the pirates will become." The council members sprang into action, organizing their fleets and preparing for battle. Zilthar felt a mix of anxiety and excitement. This was a turning point for both the Galactic Council and humanity. They had to work together if they were to survive this unexpected war. Meanwhile, Sarah received a communication from Commander Harris. "We're holding our ground, but we need reinforcements now. The pirates are overwhelming us." As Sarah listened to his voice, she felt a fire ignite within her. Earth had come far, and they were ready to show their strength. "We're on our way, Commander," she assured him, determination fueling her words. With the Council's decision made, Zilthar and Sarah shared a brief glance, both realizing that this was only the beginning of a battle that would test their resolve and alliance. They were now bound by a common purpose: to confront the threat that loomed over them and fight for their future. The unexpected war had begun, and the fate of their civilizations rested on their shoulders. Together, they would face the challenges ahead, forging a path of unity against a shared enemy. The gathering storm. The stars twinkled in the darkness of space, but the atmosphere aboard the Earth Fleet's command ship was anything but calm. Commander Sarah Mitchell paced the deck, her mind racing with thoughts of the impending battle. She could hear the alarms blaring, signaling that the pirate ships were closing in. Tension filled the air, and her crew was on high alert. "Status report." Sarah called out to her tactical officer, Lieutenant Jamal. His face was illuminated by the glow of the holographic display, showing the movements of enemy ships. "We've detected 3 pirate vessels on an intercept course, Commander," Jamal replied, his fingers dancing over the controls. "They're faster and more agile than we anticipated. If we don't act quickly, they'll breach our defenses." Sarah clenched her fists. She knew they had to hold the line, not just for Earth but for the Galactic Council. "Send a message to the Threxian fleet. We need them here now. Every second counts." "Yes, Mom," Jamal replied, his voice steady even under pressure. He activated the communication panel, relaying Sarah's orders. As the crew worked frantically, Sarah looked out at the stars. The vastness of space had always fascinated her, but today it felt like a battleground. The pirate ships were a dark blot on the horizon, and she could sense the impending danger. Just then, Zilthar's voice crackled through the intercom. "Commander Mitchell, this is Ambassador Zilthar. We are en route with the Threxian fleet. Hold your position until we arrive." "Understood, Ambassador. We'll do our best to hold them off," Sarah replied, determination lacing her words. The pirate ships were getting closer, and Sarah could make out their sleek, menacing designs. These were not the disorganized raiders she had read about in reports. These ships were equipped with advanced weaponry and displayed an eerie confidence. It was clear that their leader had crafted a formidable force. "Enemy ships have opened fire," shouted a crew member from the weapons station. Bright beams of energy shot through space, illuminating the darkness. "Brace for impact," Sarah commanded, gripping the armrest of her chair. The ship shook violently as blasts hit their shields. She could feel the tension rising among her crew, but she refused to show fear. "Return fire. Target their engines," Sarah ordered. The crew responded quickly, launching a barrage of missiles. The projectiles shot forward, leaving trails of light in their wake. Explosions erupted as they hit one of the pirate ships, sending debris scattering into the void. Allies in arms. The chase continued through the void of space, the bright lights of distant stars contrasting against the darkness of the pirate flagship as it struggled to evade the Earth and Threxian fleets. Commander Sarah Mitchell felt the ship's engines roar as they surged forward, determined to put an end to the pirate threat once and for all. "Status update," Sarah called out, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. Lieutenant Jamal, his face lit by the holographic displays, reported back quickly. "The flagship is damaged but still operational. Its speed is decreasing, but they are preparing for a last stand. We can expect heavy resistance," Jamal said, eyes wide with urgency. "Understood," Sarah replied, taking a deep breath to center herself. "Let's tighten our formation. We can't let them escape." As the fleets adjusted their positions, Sarah glanced at the Threxian ships flanking them. Their sleek designs and advanced technology gave her hope. The Threxians were formidable allies, and she knew they would fight fiercely by their side. "Zilfar, can you coordinate our attack?" Sarah asked, her gaze fixed on the pirate flagship, now looming larger in their view. "Of course, Commander Mitchell," Zilfar replied, his voice echoing through the comms. "We will strike together, targeting their main weapons. We cannot let them fire upon us." The tension in the air was palpable as the fleets closed in. The pirate flagship, sensing its impending doom, began to fire back with renewed ferocity. Bright beams of energy shot out, illuminating the darkness, but Sarah and her crew were ready. "Shields up, engage evasive maneuvers," she commanded. The crew moved quickly, following her orders as the ship rocked with the force of enemy fire. Sarah's heart raced, but she felt a sense of calm in the storm. They had come too far to back down now. "Returning fire," Jamal shouted, pressing buttons furiously. The Earth fleet unleashed a volley of missiles that streaked through the void, hitting the flagship's hull. Sarah felt a surge of satisfaction as she watched the explosions ripple across the enemy ship's surface. But the pirates were not finished yet. The flagship fired back, and a beam struck the Earth ship, shaking it violently. Alarms blared, and Sarah felt her stomach drop. "Damage report," she yelled. "Minor hull breach on Deck 3. We're losing power in the aft section," a crew member shouted back. "Seal it off. Divert power to the front shields," Sarah ordered, her mind racing. They had to hold their ground and keep pushing forward. "Zilfar, can we have your ships flank them from the left?" Sarah suggested, her eyes locked on the pirate flagship. "Absolutely. Threxian ships, move into position," Zilfar commanded. His fleet shifted smoothly, their advanced technology allowing for precise movements as they flanked the pirate flagship. "Prepare to engage," Sarah said, her voice filled with determination. "We will take them down together." As the two fleets launched a coordinated attack, the atmosphere on the command ship crackled with energy. The crew focused on their tasks, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Sarah felt a fierce sense of camaraderie with her crew and the Threxians. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for each other. With a sudden surge, the Threxian ships unleashed a barrage of firepower, targeting the pirate flagship's main weapons. Explosions erupted as the flagship's cannons were destroyed, and the ship began to list dangerously to one side. "Now's our chance. All ships, move in for the kill," Sarah commanded, her voice rising above the din. The Earth fleet surged forward, firing relentlessly at the flagship. The pirates, now panicking, tried to regroup but found themselves trapped between the two allied fleets. "Commander, their engines are failing," Jamal shouted, eyes wide with excitement. "Push forward. Don't let up," Sarah urged. The thrill of victory coursed through her veins as they closed in on the crippled ship. As they approached the flagship, the pirate crew could be seen scrambling on the deck. Sarah felt a mix of emotions. They were enemies, but they were also beings fighting for their survival. "Prepare to board," she ordered, knowing that capturing the ship could provide valuable intelligence about the pirates' plans. "Boarding parties ready," Jamal replied, excitement bubbling in his voice. As the boarding pods launched, Sarah felt a rush of adrenaline. This was a crucial moment for Earth and their new allies. They had to seize the opportunity and show the galaxy that they would not be underestimated. The boarding parties made contact with the pirate flagship, and chaos erupted as soldiers stormed the ship. Sarah led the charge, her heart pounding as she and her crew pushed forward. They encountered pirates defending their territory, and the fighting was fierce. "Clear the way. Secure the bridge," Sarah shouted, leading her team through the narrow corridors of the pirate ship. The air was thick with tension as they battled their way toward the control center. As they reached the bridge, Sarah burst through the doors, her weapon drawn. The sight before her was chaotic. Pirates were trying to regain control of their ship, but they were outnumbered. "Stand down," Sarah commanded, her voice steady and firm. "You are surrounded. Surrender now, and you will not be harmed." The remaining pirates exchanged nervous glances, realizing the futility of their situation. Slowly, weapons lowered, and a tense silence filled the room. "We'll take your ship, but we don't want to harm anyone who surrenders peacefully," Sarah added, her voice softer. One of the pirates stepped forward, a look of defiance on his face. "You think you've won. We're part of something bigger." "We'll see about that," Sarah replied, determination in her eyes. "But for now, you have the choice to walk away or face the consequences." The pirates, realizing they had no option, began to lay down their weapons. Sarah felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had succeeded in taking the flagship and preventing a larger threat. As her crew secured the area, Sarah received a transmission from Zilfar. "Congratulations, Commander. We have neutralized the remaining pirate vessels. The battle is won." Cheers erupted among her crew, but Sarah remained focused. "Let's ensure these pirates don't regroup. We'll gather intelligence from this ship and learn what we can." The tides of the conflict had shifted, and Sarah felt a sense of unity with her Threxian allies. They had fought together, and together they would uncover the truth behind the pirate threat. In the aftermath of the battle, as they worked to secure the flagship and its crew, Sarah knew that this was just the beginning. They had forged new alliances, faced their fears, and emerged victorious. The galaxy was changing, and humanity was ready to stand strong among the stars. Secrets of the past. The victory over the pirate flagship was a significant moment for Commander Sarah Mitchell and her crew, but it was only the beginning. As they began to secure the captured ship, they realized there was more at stake than they initially thought. The pirate crew, now prisoners, sat in a makeshift holding area, their faces a mixture of defeat and defiance. Sarah gathered her senior officers in the command center of the Earth ship. The atmosphere was electric with excitement, but a sense of unease hung in the air. She knew that uncovering the truth about the pirates was crucial for the safety of Earth and its allies. "All right, team," Sarah began, her voice steady. "We've captured their flagship and a number of pirates. We need to extract information from them, and we need to do it quickly. We can't let them regroup or share what they know with other pirate factions." Lieutenant Jamal nodded, leaning forward in his chair. "I suggest we interrogate their leader first. If we can get him to talk, we might uncover their plans and who else is involved." "Agreed," Sarah replied, glancing at Zilfar, the Threxian commander who had fought alongside them. "Zilfar, do you have any methods for extracting information that could help us?" Zilfar's eyes glimmered with a thoughtful intensity. "We Threxians have a way of influencing minds, but we prefer to use persuasion rather than force. I can speak with their leader and see if we can reach an understanding. Sometimes fear can be replaced with reason." "Let's try that approach first," Sarah decided. "We'll give them a chance to cooperate. If they refuse, we can consider other options." With a plan in place, Sarah led her team to the holding area where the captured pirates were kept. The room was dimly lit, and the atmosphere was tense. The pirate leader, a burly man with a scar running down his face, glared at them defiantly. "Who do you think you are?" He spat. "You think you've won. The galaxy is a big place, and there are more of us out there." Sarah stepped forward, trying to remain calm. "We're not here to fight. We want to understand what you were doing and who you work for. We can make this easier for everyone if you cooperate." The pirate leader laughed, a harsh sound that echoed in the small room. "You really think we'll just tell you everything? We'd rather die than help you." Zilfar stepped forward, his presence commanding. "What you see as a loss, we see as an opportunity for redemption. You have a choice. Help us, and you may find a way to live peacefully." The pirate leader's defiance wavered for a moment, and Sarah seized the opportunity. "If you help us, we can protect you from your enemies. We want to know who's behind this operation, and why you attacked Earth. I don't trust you, the pirate leader grumbled, crossing his arms. Zilthar leaned in closer. Trust is earned, not given. But consider this. Your crew is watching you. If you don't act in their best interest, they will lose faith in you. Help us, and we can ensure your survival. The pirate leader hesitated, glancing at his crew, who watched him with anxious eyes. Finally, after a tense moment, he sighed. All right, I'll talk. But you need to promise my crew will be treated fairly. Sarah nodded, relieved. We'll ensure your crew is taken care of. Now tell us about your operations, and who's funding this. As the pirate leader began to speak, revealing the names of powerful individuals who had been financing their attacks, Sarah felt a knot tighten in her stomach. This was bigger than they had thought. The implications were far-reaching, and it would require careful planning to confront this new threat. The pirate leader detailed how they had been lured into attacking Earth by promises of wealth and power. They were part of a larger scheme orchestrated by a shadowy organization that sought to destabilize the region and capitalize on the chaos. This group operates from the shadows, pulling strings and using us as pawns, the pirate leader explained. They told us Earth was weak and would fall easily. We were only trying to survive and gain power for ourselves. Zilthar and Sarah exchanged glances, understanding the significance of this information. We need to gather evidence, Sarah said. If we can expose this organization, we might be able to unite other factions against them. With renewed determination, Sarah and her team set to work, combing through the ship's logs and systems for any trace of communication with this mysterious organization. They found records of transactions and messages, each one revealing more about the extent of the pirates' operations. As they delved deeper, they discovered coordinates leading to hidden bases in the far reaches of the galaxy. These were sites where pirates gathered and plotted their next moves. This is it, Jamal said, his voice filled with excitement. If we can take out these bases, we can cripple their operations. Sarah felt a sense of purpose wash over her. We need to act quickly. We'll share this information with our command and prepare for a coordinated strike. Zilthar added, the Threxian fleet will stand with you. We cannot allow such threats to fester. Together, we will bring them down. As they continued their investigation, the sense of urgency grew. They were no longer just fighting pirates. They were facing a conspiracy that threatened the stability of the galaxy. The stakes were high, and they needed to be ready for anything. Days turned into nights as they prepared their plan. Sarah and her team trained tirelessly, honing their skills for the battles ahead. The sense of camaraderie between the Earth fleet and the Threxians grew stronger as they forged a united front. Finally, the day came to launch their assault on the pirate bases. Sarah stood on the bridge of her ship, looking at the crew around her. We've trained hard, and we know what's at stake. Let's show them that Earth and its allies will not be pushed around. Cheers erupted as they launched into the unknown, ready to face whatever awaited them. Together, they would confront the darkness threatening the galaxy and uncover the truth that lay hidden in the shadows. In the vast expanse of space, hope flickered like a distant star, and Sarah knew they were ready to embrace it. Shadows of betrayal. The vastness of space stretched before them as the fleet of Earth ships, accompanied by the Threxian forces, approached the coordinates they had obtained from the captured pirate leader. Tension hung in the air like a thick fog. Commander Sarah Mitchell stood at the helm of the flagship, her heart racing with anticipation and fear. "Prepare for warp jump," she ordered, her voice steady despite the swirling emotions inside her. "We're about to enter hostile territory." Her crew sprang into action, each member knowing the importance of this mission. They were no longer just facing a pirate threat. They were about to confront a larger conspiracy that sought to destabilize the entire region. The coordinates led to an uncharted sector known for its treacherous asteroid fields and hidden dangers. As they activated the warp drive, Sarah exchanged glances with Zilthar, the Threxian commander. "Are your ships ready?" she asked, concern etched on her face. Zilfar nodded, his expression serious. We will fight together. If we succeed, we may expose the organization behind these attacks. But if we fail, the consequences will be dire. The warp jump was quick, and they emerged into a chaotic scene. The darkness of space was illuminated by the glow of multiple pirate ships, moving in tight formation, seemingly preparing for their next attack. The sheer number of vessels took Sarah by surprise. "Report," she shouted, trying to maintain control over the sudden rush of adrenaline. "Pirate fleet detected. Estimated at 20 ships," Lieutenant Jamal reported, his fingers flying across the console. "They appear to be engaged in some sort of meeting. We can catch them off guard." "Zilfar, can your fleet provide support?" Sarah asked, urgency in her voice. "Yes," Zilfar replied, "but we must act swiftly. We can't let them alert the rest of their organization." Sarah took a deep breath, formulating a plan. "We'll split our forces. The Threxian ships will engage the larger vessels, while we send a small team to infiltrate the pirate base. We need to gather more intel about their leader and the organization behind these attacks." With the plan in place, they initiated their assault. The Earth ships moved in silently, while the Threxian fleet created a diversion. Explosions lit up the dark canvas of space, and Sarah felt a surge of determination. They were fighting for their survival, and every moment counted. As the battle raged, Sarah and her team launched a shuttle towards the pirate base, cloaked from detection. Inside the shuttle, tension was palpable. Sarah led a small team that included Jamal, Zilfar, and a few skilled operatives. They knew they had to act quickly. "Remember, our goal is to gather information and find out who is leading this organization," Sarah reminded them. "We need to be cautious and stealthy." They touched down on the base's surface, a rocky planet cloaked in shadows. The base was camouflaged among the asteroids, and the team moved quietly, using the terrain to their advantage. As they navigated through the corridors, they discovered signs of recent activity: hastily discarded weapons, equipment, and the distant sounds of pirate voices. They had to find the command center. "Over there," Jamal pointed toward a door marked with security codes. "That looks like it leads to the main operations center." They approached the door, but it was locked tight. Sarah felt a rush of frustration. "We don't have time for this." Zilfar stepped forward, his fingers moving over the panel. With a few deft movements, he managed to override the security lock. The door slid open, revealing a dimly lit room filled with holographic displays and maps. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and the faint sounds of discussion echoed through the air. "Let's move quickly," Sarah instructed as they entered the room. "We need to download whatever information we can." As Jamal began accessing the systems, Zilfar kept watch. The displays showed detailed plans of attacks against various planets, including Earth. Sarah's heart raced as she realized the full extent of the organization's reach. They were not just pirates, they were part of a larger scheme to destabilize the galaxy. Suddenly, footsteps echoed from the corridor outside. Panic surged through the team. "We need to hurry," Sarah urged. Just as Jamal finished downloading the data, the door slammed open, and a group of armed pirates stormed in. "Get them," one of the pirates shouted, brandishing a blaster. In an instant, chaos erupted. Zilfar activated his weapon, firing at the nearest pirate, while Sarah and Jamal took cover behind a console. The room became a battlefield as they fought to defend themselves. "More are coming," Jamal shouted, his voice strained as he fired back. "Hold them off," Sarah ordered, her focus unwavering. "We need to get this information back to our fleet." As they fought valiantly, the pirates were relentless. Just when it seemed they would be overwhelmed, Zilfar's strength and agility shone through. He moved like a blur, taking out one pirate after another with calculated precision. "Let's go," he yelled, and they fought their way towards the exit, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Finally, they'd reached the shuttle, but it wasn't over yet. A group of heavily armed pirates had surrounded it, blocking their escape route. Back to back, Sarah shouted as they formed a defensive circle. "We'll fight our way through." In that moment, they realized the true test of their resolve. With determination burning in their hearts, they prepared to face the darkness surrounding them, ready to fight for their survival and for the truth they sought. The battle was fierce, but together they would overcome the shadows of betrayal, armed with the knowledge that the fate of their worlds depended on their courage and unity. The unraveling conspiracy. The shuttle engines roared to life as Sarah, Zilfar, and Jamal barely managed to push past the last of the pirates. They boarded just in time, and Sarah slammed the hatch shut behind them. The adrenaline coursed through her veins as she took a moment to catch her breath. "Jamal, upload the data," Sarah ordered, her eyes scanning the cockpit for any sign of incoming threats. "We need to alert the fleet about what we found." Jamal's fingers danced over the controls as he connected their downloaded data to the ship's systems. "I'm on it," he replied, his face lit by the blue glow of the screens. "But we have to be quick. We might not have much time." Meanwhile, Zilfar kept a watchful eye on the outside. "We have incoming ships," he warned, his voice low and urgent. "We can't stay here." "Jamal, how long until we can send the information?" Sarah asked, her heart racing. "Just a few more seconds," he replied, his concentration unwavering. The sound of blaster fire echoed outside, sending a shiver down Sarah's spine. The pirates were relentless, determined to stop them from escaping with their crucial intel. "Come on, Jamal," she urged. "We need that data." Finally, Jamal let out a breath of relief. "Done. The fleet has received the information. They're preparing to move." "Good," Sarah replied. "Now let's get out of here." She engaged the thrusters, and the shuttle shot away from the pirate base, just as blaster shots ricocheted off the hull. The ship trembled under the strain, but Sarah expertly piloted them through the chaotic space, dodging the incoming fire. "We're getting out of their range," Jamal shouted, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. Just as they thought they were safe, a larger pirate ship loomed into view, its massive bulk blocking their escape route. The ship's cannons glowed ominously, preparing to fire. "Hold on," Sarah shouted as she executed a sharp turn, barely avoiding the blast that scorched the space behind them. "We can't let them catch us." Zilfar's expression darkened. "They will send reinforcements. We need to get back to the fleet immediately." Sarah's mind raced. They couldn't let this information fall into the wrong hands. "We need a distraction," she said, her eyes darting across the control panel. "Jamal, can you trigger a flare or something to throw them off our trail?" "On it," Jamal responded, quickly activating the ship's emergency flares. He launched them into the vastness of space, bright colors erupting against the black backdrop. The pirate ship hesitated, confused by the sudden burst of light. "It's working," Zilfar exclaimed. "Now's our chance." With the pirates distracted, Sarah punched the engines, propelling the shuttle forward at maximum speed. They dodged debris and asteroids, maneuvering their way back toward the safety of the Earth fleet. As they approached the fleet, they were greeted by a flurry of activity. Ships were aligning for an imminent battle against the pirates, who were now aware of the Earth fleet's presence. "Commander Mitchell, report," came the voice of Fleet Admiral Dawson over the communication system. "We've got intel on the pirate organization," Sarah replied, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. "They're part of a larger conspiracy aimed at destabilizing the entire sector. We need to move quickly before they regroup." "Understood," Dawson said. "Prepare for an immediate briefing. Your findings could change everything." The shuttle docked with the flagship, and Sarah, Zilfar, and Jamal rushed out, adrenaline still coursing through their veins. The command center was bustling with officers and crew members, all eager to hear what they had uncovered. "Gather everyone," Dawson ordered, commanding the room's attention. "Commander Mitchell and her team have important information regarding the pirate threat." As Sarah stood before her fellow officers, she felt a surge of pride mixed with anxiety. She glanced at Zilfar, who gave her an encouraging nod. She knew that together they could make a difference. We discovered that the pirates are part of a larger organization. Sarah began, her voice steady. They have plans to attack multiple planets, including Earth. This isn't just a local threat. It's a coordinated effort to take control of the sector. The room erupted in murmurs as officers exchanged concerned glances. How can we stop them? One officer asked. We need to gather more intel on their leader and their network, Jamal interjected. The data we collected will help us pinpoint their locations and potential attack routes. Zilfar stepped forward, his voice strong. We must act swiftly. If we can dismantle their organization, we can prevent further attacks. Earth and the Threxian Empire must unite in this fight. Admiral Dawson nodded, his expression grave. You're right. We need a joint task force. I want every ship ready for deployment. Our goal is to strike before they can mobilize. The officers began to coordinate their plans, and Sarah felt a sense of hope rise within her. They were not alone in this battle. They had allies willing to fight by their side. Commander, we need to identify the pirate leader, Dawson said, turning to Sarah. Do you think you can lead the mission? I'll do everything I can, Sarah replied, determination in her voice. But we must remain vigilant. This organization will not go down easily. As the room filled with strategy and plans, Sarah felt the weight of their task ahead. They were on the brink of a war that could change the fate of their worlds. With courage in their hearts, they prepared to face the shadows of the past and fight for their future. The final showdown. The Earth fleet was ready, their ships lined up like soldiers waiting for battle. The mood was tense, but there was a sense of unity among the crew. Sarah, Zilfar, and Jamal stood on the flagship's command deck, watching the vastness of space before them. Their hearts raced with anticipation for the confrontation that lay ahead. Commander Mitchell, Admiral Dawson said, his voice steady. Our scouts have pinpointed the pirate base. It's located on a small asteroid in the outer sector. We'll strike at dawn. Sarah nodded, steeling herself for the battle. We need to approach carefully. They'll be expecting us after the flare diversion. Zilfar added, I recommend a two-pronged attack. While the main fleet engages their defenses, we can send a small team to infiltrate the base and gather intel on their leader. Dawson agreed. That's a solid plan. We need to strike fast and hard. Our objective is to neutralize their leader and disrupt their command structure. The longer they operate, the more damage they can do. As the sun began to rise over the horizon of a nearby planet, the fleet moved into position. Sarah felt a surge of adrenaline as they prepped for launch. Each crew member understood the stakes. This was not just about defeating the pirates, but protecting their worlds. Prepare to launch, Dawson ordered, and the command center buzzed with activity. The fleet surged forward, engines roaring to life as they broke through the atmosphere. Sarah's heart pounded as she took her place at the helm of her ship. Zilfar and Jamal were by her side, both ready to face whatever lay ahead. As they approached the asteroid, the pirate base came into view. It was heavily fortified, with turrets and defense shields surrounding it. They won't make this easy for us, Sarah murmured. Stick to the plan, Zilfar urged. We can do this together. On my mark, Dawson's voice echoed through the comms. 3, 2, 1, engage. The fleet unleashed a barrage of laser fire at the pirate base, illuminating the dark void of space. Explosions erupted as the turrets retaliated, sending fiery projectiles toward the Earth ships. Return fire, Sarah shouted, her fingers flying over the controls. We can't let them get the upper hand. The ships fired back, engaging in a fierce battle. Sarah felt the ship shudder as enemy blasts rocked them. The tactical screen displayed the chaos of combat, ships weaving and dodging amidst the explosions. Zilfar, Jamal, we need to split from the main fleet, she said. We have to head to the base's flank and find a way in. Right behind you, Jamal replied, determination in his voice. With Zilfar navigating, they veered away from the main battle, dodging debris and enemy fire. As they approached the base, Sarah's heart raced. They had to make it inside before the pirates realized their plan. "Look, there's an entrance." Zilthar pointed to a small docking bay hidden behind debris. "Let's go," Sarah commanded, guiding their ship into the bay. They landed with a jolt, and the hatch opened with a hiss. "Stay close," Sarah said, gripping her blaster tightly as they exited the ship. The inside of the base was dimly lit, filled with the sounds of alarms and chaos as pirates scrambled to respond to the attack. They moved quietly through the corridors, adrenaline pumping as they prepared for the unexpected. Suddenly, a group of pirates appeared around a corner. "Intruders," one shouted, raising his weapon. "Get down," Sarah yelled, diving behind a nearby crate as blaster fire erupted. Zilthar and Jummel followed suit, returning fire. "Cover me while I upload the tracking data," Jummel shouted, scrambling to a terminal. "I'll distract them," Zilthar exclaimed, sprinting toward the group of pirates. He leaped over a stack of crates, drawing their attention and engaging in hand-to-hand combat. Sarah focused on the pirates, her heart pounding. She aimed carefully, taking one down and then another. The remaining pirates were confused by Zilthar's sudden appearance, allowing Jamal to finish uploading the data to pinpoint the pirate leader's location. "I've got it," Jamal shouted triumphantly. "Let's go." Zilthar joined them, and they sprinted down the corridor, following the readings on Jamal's device. As they neared the command center, they could hear the pirate leader's voice echoing through the halls. "Prepare for the counterattack. We will not be defeated by these humans." "Sounds like we're close," Sarah said, her heart racing. They burst through the doors, finding themselves in the command room, where the pirate leader stood surrounded by his men. He was a towering figure, clad in dark armor with an air of authority. "Who dares intrude?" the pirate leader roared, eyes narrowing at the sight of Sarah and her team. "Your reign of terror ends here," Sarah declared, raising her blaster. The room erupted in chaos as the pirates lunged toward them. Zilthar engaged in combat with several of the pirates, his movements swift and precise. Sarah focused on the leader, firing shots that he narrowly avoided. "Fools, you think you can defeat me?" the leader taunted, charging toward Sarah. In a split second, Jamal threw a flash grenade at the leader's feet. The bright light blinded everyone in the room, and Sarah seized the opportunity. "Now," she shouted. Zilthar tackled the leader to the ground, pinning him as Sarah rushed forward. "You're finished," she yelled, her blaster aimed at him. With a determined look, Zilthar held the pirate leader down, ensuring he couldn't escape. "This is for all the lives you've destroyed." Just as they secured the leader, a warning alarm blared through the command center. "What's happening?" Jamal exclaimed, looking around in panic. "The main fleet is breaching the outer defenses," Zilthar shouted. "We need to finish this quickly before they retaliate." "Let's get this over with," Sarah said, tightening her grip on her weapon. "You will answer for your crimes against humanity." The pirate leader sneered, but the confidence in his eyes began to wane. "You think this will end with me? There are others, more powerful than you can imagine." "Maybe, but we'll start with you," Sarah retorted, her resolve unyielding. With their combined strength, they took control of the situation, ready to face whatever came next. Together, they had fought through the chaos, and now they stood on the brink of victory. With the pirate leader captured, they knew they could dismantle the organization that had plagued their worlds. Together, they would ensure that peace prevailed and that the galaxy was safe once more. As they exited the command center, a sense of relief washed over them. They had faced unimaginable odds and emerged victorious. The bond they had formed would guide them through any challenges that lay ahead. They were united against a common threat, ready to protect their worlds from the shadows that lurked beyond the stars. The fight was far from over, but they had taken the first step toward a brighter future.